What is up, YouTubers? How's it going? Isaac and I are here today, and we're going to be showing you guys how to build and then use your FireBow. We're going to be teaching you all the basic steps and everything, all the different elements of the FireBow. So let's just get started. So the first thing you have is you have your actual bow part. There are actually 6 elements to a FireBow that are crucial and important and should be taken into consideration and should be done properly in order for you to get your bow working properly. So we have the bow. Then we have a top piece. This should be made out of a hardwood. I made this out of some young buckeye, so it's green and everything. So it's not technically, it's not a hardwood, but it works pretty well, and it's super simple and easy to use. You just put a hole right here, something that will kind of oil and lubricate it. Let's see, where it is. There it is. So what I have here is I have my spindle, which is the third element, and I'm just going to get the top piece and everything, and I'm just going to work this eucalyptus leaf into my top piece so that there's some oil, because eucalyptus is really high in oils, and that is going to really smooth down and make this bow work really nicely. So you just kind of pull that out of there, leave a tiny bit at the bottom actually, and then you can just crush it to the bottom, and there you have it. You have your spindle, and you have something that will kind of lubricate, kind of soften it, and it will keep it so you're not burning the top of your spindle as well. So now for the spindle, many different kinds of woods can be used for this. You want a softwood. It's really crucial that this is a softwood. Right here, I have these two are English ivy. Now what you have is you have a pointed side, and then you have a rounded side. The pointed side is going to be going to your top piece. You want as much or as little surface area as possible on your top piece, because you want all the friction making the fire going to your hearthboard. This is buckeye, this is incense cedar, and this is alder. So these are some of the best woods that I've found, but we're going to use this spindle today. So now what we're going to be doing is we're going to look at the hearthboard. So this hearthboard is buckeye, so I'm going to be doing English ivy on buckeye. Actually, there are certain mixtures of spindle and hearthboard that actually do better for your FireBow. We have our hearthboard. Now we need a little tiny piece that's going to sit under here and catch the embers that we create. And I'm just split a piece of wood off of a log that I have, a buckeye log, and it's just going to, the embers are just going to fall down here. As far as the hole goes, you're going to want to go in about a little bit over 1/4 of an inch, and depending on that, you can just measure with your spindle, and you need to make a hole. So we'll make a hole, and then after that, what you need to do is you need to cut a very large notch. Actually, you can cut a pretty good notch, and it needs to go almost go to the middle of this hearthboard. So now that we figured that out, I'm going to set my hearthboard down. I'm going to take this piece, it's going to go under so that it can catch all the embers and everything. We have our top piece. It's all lubricated up. We have our bow. So as far as the actual bow, we're good. We got everything done. We got everything we need. A way to make a hearthboard, if you guys are just wondering, I'm just going to quickly show you, is I have a log here. This is a buckeye log, and this is going to be another hearthboard that I'm going to use. You find a crack in it. There's a crack going down this right here, so I can use that crack with some kind of hammer, and you can actually see that it's actually starting to split more and more and more, and you split it in half, and then you just carve it off until it looks like this hearthboard. So there's that. Also, while we're at it, I can show off my knives. If you guys want to check out my review on the Bushman, it was a couple weeks ago that I did this video actually. Go check it out somewhere around here, maybe on Isaac's face, I don't know, whichever one. And just check out that video because that was pretty cool. Also, I'm going to be doing a review on my new Mora knife. This thing is amazing. This is one of my most favorite knives. So be ready for that. It's going to be an awesome review. Back to the FireBow after the commercial break. So, what we need is we need the 5th element. And this 5th element is our nest. This nest is made out of old man's beard and then grass that's nice and dry. And what we're going to do is we're just going to throw an ember in here, and we're going to give it some air, give it some oxygen, and that's what's going to really make that fire become real and come to life. Now, I also have some wood chips, sawdust kind of stuff right here. So that's the last element. You need something else. You need something else for a fire. Everything's wet right now, and I'm not really trying to make a fire, but that's the last element. You need to have a pile of sticks somewhere. You need to have something ready. When this thing bursts into flames, you got to be prepared for that. You can't just let that go out. All right, so here's the final part of the video, and this is not building your FireBow. This is actually using it. So this is what people consider the challenging part, but really, once you have it down, it's not that challenging. And I will show you how easy it really is. So again, find a level surface and keep this flat and everything. You have your top piece. Everything is worked in and everything. Make sure that all of that, knock out anything that's going to fall out. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's in there. Now, for our bow, which just has some 550 paracord on it, the way to put this on is you're going to grab it like this. You're going to twist. Look at that. Really slowly. You're going to twist. And then, I usually brace it against my arm, or like my body. And then, if it's really tight, you just pull it. And then it's tight. But I did this backwards. You want the way your bow is. So my bow's, I'm going to be going like this. So the way your bow is, you want to point your top piece, whichever way your bow is going, so that your top piece ends up on top instead of on bottom. You don't want to switch that, because then you're going to have a hard time making a fire. I'm going to put my shoe right here, my leg, with my hand braced against it. That's what's really going to help. That's really crucial. You need to have that hand braced against your leg so that it's not moving around. And once that hand's braced, you can find whatever's comfortable for holding your top piece, and that's when you can actually start to work. So now we're going to start, and I'm just going to do some nice, long, steady strokes. And I'm just warming up the bow right now. Warming up the earth board, warming up the spindles, just warming up myself even. So let's just get this started all the way. Nice, long stroke. Crap. Crap. So we're not making an ember, making lots of dust. Okay, I'm gonna take my watch off. Makes things easier. Take my shirt off. Hey, Isaac, get behind the camera. Get behind the camera.
Blow on it. Blow on it.
You just keep me in the shot. Keep me focused. That's all.
Hey! Fire!
And there you guys go. We have fire. We have achieved it. It's burning nicely. And that's what this is really all about. You know, we worked really hard. We made a lot of mistakes. But eventually, at the end of the day, we got exactly what we wanted. We got our fire because we kept to it. We kept on working on it. And that's why I enjoy this so much, because it's not just wilderness survival. It's not just keeping yourself alive in the wilderness. It's that mind control it's just keep on going, and this is really smoky. It's just keep on going. And that's what's going to show the successful people from the unsuccessful people. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to check me out next week for my next video. And be ready to see some more awesomeness. I'll be answering your questions, so leave your comments. Hit that subscribe button. See you guys next week.